Hello, today we're going to do a full analysis of routine and Todoist. But first, full disclosure, I do work at routine. I will try to be as impartial as possible. Both tools are great tools for different reasons, and I'll try to cover everything. And usually it's more which tool is best for you more than this is the definitive best tools overall. So do not hesitate to leave a comment if you disagree or if I've left out maybe a feature or something, because it's not my intention. And also keep in mind that obviously both tools are evolving. So maybe a feature has been developed since I did this analysis. Every aspect is going to be analyzed in sections so that you can skip the sections that are not of interest, and you can go to the end if you want to have the full conclusion. Okay, let's go. To start, a quick overview of those tools. Todoist on one side has been a reference in the task management space. It is well known, simple, it has many connections, it is present on all platforms. It is great for managing your tasks, but it just does that. So it's a strength for people who want a very strong task management tool, but it might feel like it is limited and constrained to only tasks, where you would like to maybe a tool that does a bit more, maybe managing your calendars, your notes, your habits, or whatever more you would like to. Routine, on the other hand, has been designed to actually aggregate many things in one app, because people don't want to use multiple apps. So either they use one app and put everything in it, and the idea was to build routine as an aggregation to manage your tasks, your notes, your calendars, even your contacts, habits, projects, and more. That's the idea. So if that's something you're looking for, routine might be better, but we'll see that. When it comes to capturing information quickly, Todoist has been one of the first to introduce a quick capture hotkey. So if you press this hotkey, it brings up a small console that you can use to capture information quickly and use natural language to give it a bit more information. For instance, call John, then you could say today to specify a date, at 9 p.m. to specify a reminder, but then you can also assign to a specific project or even set a priority. All of this allows you to very quickly capture, but also plan information. As you can see, the task now is here with a reminder in your inbox, but also with a priority P1. So that's a great addition to really capture information as quickly as possible and get back to what you were doing. Routine has an equivalent functionality that allows to capture super quickly. We call it the dashboard because it not only allows you to capture information through the console, it also lists the task of the day and the events to come. But for capturing, it's fairly similar. You can do call John, you can assign a priority, let's say hi, you can also assign labels, you can plan with a natural language. So it's really the same idea. With, again, another twist is that you can also create events, you can also create notes with the console, but that's something we will cover a bit later. Another thing is that it captures information contextually. What it means is that when you open the dashboard, you can see that it detects where you are, which allows to capture information and to go back. So let's say, watch video today, and I'm going to use the second one, which is capture with the context. The first one doesn't, the second one captures the context. If I do this, and I go back to routine, you can see watch video, and I've got the link here to go back to the context in question. So really good for capturing a bit more than just tasks. So for capturing, both tools are fairly similar. Routine also displays your task and events of the day. It has contextual capture, so slightly better, I'd say, than Todoist, even though Todoist's natural language also allows you to set reminders, for instance, which is something that routine doesn't do yet. Now, Todoist task management abilities are exceptional. That's really where Todoist shines. It's been there for a long time. It is very, very strong when it comes to task management. It really does it all. For instance, you can set a date, set deadlines, priorities, have reminders, assign labels. You can also repeat tasks. If you select the date, you can actually make it repeat so that you can create kind of your own routines. So very, very strong. You have subtask, descriptions. That's really everything that you will need for task management. The today screen is really great for focusing on today. You've got the upcoming to see the other days. You have the filters and labels to organize your task with labels and then see those tasks in a different angle, so to speak. And then you have your different projects, either personal or based on your teams. Now, the inbox requires a bit of explanations. The inbox doesn't act as things that require your attention, but more as tasks that do not have a specific project. So it could feel a bit counterintuitive at first, in the sense that you might think of the inbox like your inbox of emails, but for your tasks. So there, it's basically those tasks do not belong to a specific project. If you plan them, they will stay there. If you move them to a project, like with the right here, then it disappears. Let's say this one, it disappears from your inbox. A nice addition is sections, as I've created here one, which allows you to create another dimension of organization within the project to organize your tasks visually, to maybe mean something else. Like those tasks, for instance, are blocked. I cannot work on them until something else happens. So long story short, very, very strong for task management, with a few tweaks that you really need to understand to make the best of Todoist. So routines task management functionalities are fairly complete. The one thing that it doesn't do is reminders yet. Otherwise, fairly similar to Todoist, you can set labels, you can set priorities. Those are displayed here in a compact fashion so that it doesn't take too much space. You can replan the task, and you can use natural language, which is really powerful. For instance, 1st of May, so that you don't have to actually click every time. You can see here, paper presentation has been rescheduled for the 1st of May. You can change actually the date here directly without having to go to an upcoming screen. You also have the overdue section here. You have the timeline on the right-hand side. So that's the agenda. One thing that you can do, which is powerful, is you can block time. You can drag and drop in your calendar to say, I need time to complete that task. That's something that people really enjoy. That is not possible in Todoist. Another thing is that you can repeat your task, very much like Todoist. Again, you can use natural language if you want. And you can see everything related to your task through the task screen. Unplanned, recurrences, upcoming as well. So it's really, really nice to have one place to look at everything. The labels can also be used for visualizing your task based on the labels. You can also filter, sort, etc. That's fairly easy. The inbox is the one thing that probably differs between those two tools, because the inbox doesn't just list the tasks that do not belong to a project. That's the approach that Todoist takes. Routine considers that the inbox is your command and control. You have everything that requires your attention landing in your inbox. So people assigning you work or mentioning you, meetings that you have to answer. And if you create a task, it goes to your inbox right away because that requires your attention in terms of planning. So you need to plan the task for the task to disappear from your inbox. That's the way the inbox is used. As for subtask, you can use the note editor to use the slash task, which allows you to create subtask. Let's say maybe, I don't know, do this. And if you do something like this, this is not a checkbox, it's a full-fledged task that you can plan, let's say, to tomorrow. If you go to tomorrow, you will see the task do this and where it comes from, which is a task called mom. And you can click to go back. So the way to create subtask is not by just clicking a button. It's really more the task live in your document, which is the notes of the task itself. So you could have created a section, subtask, or whatever to really organize information as you want, and in that document, place a subtask. That's how routine does it. So a little bit different from Todoist. That's it for task management for routine. So as we saw, both Todoist and routine have fairly equivalent feature sets for task management. Todoist has the reminder, which is lacking in routine, but routine also has a better integration with the calendar. It also has extended fields, which we will cover later, which is really powerful for extending your capabilities for task management. But that aside, we could say that is kind of a tie because overall the feature set is quite equivalent. Now, when it comes to the calendar capabilities, Todoist has fairly recently added calendar integrations for Google Calendar and Outlook. Once you have connected your calendar, you will end up with this, which is a summary of the events happening during the day. But as you can see, it's still very, very simple. You cannot integrate more than this, so it is still very limited. Routine, on the other hand, is way more integrated with your calendar simply because that's how it has been designed. On one side, you have the timeline here in the agenda, which displays all the events that you are going to attend. Not necessarily all the events from all of your calendars, from all of your accounts, but at least the one that matter to you. Then we have the time blocking, which we already featured earlier. And then in the calendar screen, we have a full-fledged calendar, which you can hide the left pane to use it as a full-fledged calendar. Also, you can schedule meetings, etc. Basically, do anything that Apple Calendar, Microsoft Outlook, or Google Calendar allows. And this is bi-directionally synchronized with your calendar provider. Also, at the bottom, you've got the task of each day, which you can use for doing some task management, but also time blocking if you want. If you don't, then you have a calendar that takes the whole screen, which is useful as well. So long story short, routine features a full-fledged calendar, which plays very nice with your task thanks to time blocking, type slotting, etc. So really can be used to replace your calendar altogether. So as a summary, there is no comparison. Todoist has been designed to really focus on your tasks. There is a bit of information from your calendar, but it's really more of a detail to give you a bit more context, but that's it. Whereas routine has a full calendar experience to schedule meeting, block time into it, etc. So it's really completely different approaches. Now let's talk about notes. In Todoist, you can enrich your task with additional kind of non-structured information, which are basically notes. So if I take this task, for instance, I can add a description. Now this description actually supports Markdown, which allows to give a bit more structure to your document or your notes. So for instance, this allows you to have like a heading, then some text, another heading of type 2, then you can have some bullet points or even some ordered lists, etc., etc. So this is already a lot better than many other tools. It allows to really write extensive information to your tasks so that other people collaborating with you have a bit more information about what this task is about. But that's really it. There is nothing else. You cannot have notes by themselves. It needs to be information attached to a task, which again might feel very sufficient because that's what you want. You're looking really for a task manager first and foremost, and so that's fine. But if you are looking for a tool that allows to get a bit away from task management and do something else, which is maybe just write documentation for your team, which is not necessarily related to a task, then you find you might fall short of achieving this with Todoist. Now, routine, on the other hand, has been designed again slightly differently, which is that in routine, every entity, every object, as it is called, can be extended with notes. So if I take a task like this one and I double click to open it, you can see that I can start taking some notes here. And the same is true for events. If I take this meeting, for instance, I can also take notes as well. The same would be true for people. If I open one of my contacts, I can also take notes, etc., for all of the items in the system. Now, it's even more than this because, as we've shown, you can create subtasks with the /task command in the notes, and that would be true in all the notes, so everywhere, in an event, in a page, in a contact, or in an event. Which brings me to the page. As I've just described, you can enrich your task or your event or your contacts with notes, but you can also take notes by themselves, which would be in the notes section in the form of what is called pages. So you would create a new page, like, I don't know, my page, whatever, and then you would start typing. That would be the equivalent of Apple Notes, where you have notes or pages which you can organize hierarchically, and in the notes, again, you take, you enter whatever you want. It also supports Markdown, so you can very much do like title and then subtitle, etc. Even more, you can use a / command to add more structure to your document. You could use, for instance, let's say a callout to say this is important. You can also reference, let's say, projects to create links between your different objects or your pages, or even, I don't remember if I've got a task like a send presentation maybe, which would be a task. So you can very much do that, and that links to a task, and then you can navigate from one object to the next. So really the note aspect in routine is really a lot more advanced than what you would have in Todoist, for a simple reason, is that Todoist is really centered around your task, whereas routines capabilities extend beyond task. You can take notes to enrich also your meetings, but also link your meetings with your task, with your contacts, with your notes, and you can take notes by themselves. So it's really a whole different approach. And you can see with the / command that you can do many other things, including checklist, bullet list, order list, also embedding documents or videos, but also uploading things. This we'll cover later, which is create sub-objects. Views will cover as well, and stamps. So long story short, you can do many things in the notes because it's a full part of the routine experience, not just giving more information on your tasks. So to conclude, there is really no debate. Routine's note editor is a lot richer than what Todoist offers. Now, it might not be a problem for you if your experience is really about tasks. The editor in Todoist might be very sufficient. But as soon as you want to take notes which are richer, maybe giving more structure, explaining a bit more what's the context, or linking your things together, you might feel a bit limited in Todoist. And if you want to take notes outside of tasks, then that's going to be a very, very strong limitation in Todoist, whereas in routine, it has been designed for taking notes on anything and linking all of your information together. Now, let's talk about projects, project management. In Todoist, this is a very straightforward process because it has been designed for that. For instance, this is my kind of workspace, and you can see that if we click the plus button, you can add a project fairly easily. Also, this is my company. I can create a folder or a project as well. Once you have a project, it's really the same thing as the inbox that we saw earlier, which is you have the list of tasks and you can add even sections to give a bit more meaning toward what differentiates a task to another. All of your tasks end up in Today anyway, no matter which project they come from. It is a very, very straightforward process. If I were to show you when you create a new task, let's say here, like prepare schedule, you can see that by default, it falls into your inbox. You can pick the project here to say that's in project beta, and that would be it. The task is here, which is prepare schedule. You can see it from this project, and in here you would see project beta, and you have the bunch of tasks, including 2, which are actually scheduled for today. So the task here, prepare presentation, is from project beta as well. So very straightforward, not too many things around it, but really good to get started because it is very simple. So when it comes to routine and project management, by default, there is none. There is no concept of projects when you start using routine. However, it is very easy to add. So, for instance, if you have a task like this one, if you open it, you will see that you can set some labels and priorities, which we already covered in task management. There is nothing else. But what you can do, and routine has been designed this way, is you start simple, but then you can extend for routine to adapt to your needs. So if you need projects, it's simple. You go to settings and then you go to types, which is basically the list of types in your system. And because you work differently from me, routine lets you design the system that you want. And so you can see that by default, there are a number of types pre-packaged, like calendar, events for calendaring, task for task management, person for contact management, and pages for taking notes, as we already covered. But then you can create more. So you could very easily say, I want the concept of project. By doing so, you would create a new project, a database project, which would be nothing more than the title of the project and some notes if you want to take notes. Then you would be able to say, I also want maybe a status to give it a bit more meaning. So maybe backlog, and then maybe in progress, and let's say completed. Something simple, but again, it's for you to decide. You create the project database, and that's it. You can use the database icon to see the collection of projects, which by default, obviously there is no such thing. Then if you go back, you might want to do something else because you've just created a collection of projects, nothing else. What you want now is to give every task in your system potentially a project, so it can belong to a project. So you would need to edit what is a task again for you, might be different for me, and you might want to actually add a relation, basically a link between your task and project that you just created. So you select relation, you say project, then you select the project type, which is the target of your relation, and you save. You save the edit of the task type, and then now whenever you have a task, you can double click to open it, and then you will see a new property here. That allows to link your task to a project. Obviously, for now, there is no such thing. So let's say project A. And if you do this, you create it, because I just clicked new. What you do is that you've just created a new project A and you've linked it. That's it. So a lot more setup than Todoist where it works right away, but the beauty is that it is a lot more flexible. And if I do this for another task, let's say this one, I assign to project A. Now what I can do is that I can actually open project A. I could add it to my menu so that it's always accessible here. And then I could set the status to say, actually, it's in progress. And then you can do more with views, but I won't bother you with this now, to see all the tasks that relate to that project, which would be most likely what you want to have visibility about what's going on. But again, we'll cover that soon. So long story short, you can achieve the same thing with routine with a little bit of setup. So as a summary, fairly accessible project management, very easy, and you can start right away with Todoist. Not so much with routine, which requires a little bit of setup, but is way more extensible because you can give more meaning to your project and your task. So it's really, again, what you prefer, but overall, you can do it in both. Todoist has been designed to work with your team, which is really one of its strong suits because you can use it for yourself. And as soon as you join a team, the experience is exactly the same, except that you can see your task coming from different projects belonging to your team. So the way it works is here you can create a team, you have a team workspace, and then you can create different projects. So if you click the add, as you can see, you can organize in folders, etc. So I've got this beta project, which again features a number of tasks. You can add sections, let's say blocked. So really always the same mechanism. And if you create a task, let's say design the UI, this task belongs to the project, and then you can use the same things, which are planning, maybe adding a label or a priority, very much like you would do with your own task. And if you go to today, you would have the task here listed, which is design the UI, which you can see from here that it belongs to the beta project in the section, which is blocked. So really easy to do this, very simple, always the same experience, but across teams. Very much like Todoist, routine allows to aggregate all of your tasks from multiple teams and see them through a single screen, which is the agenda screen with all of your tasks and all of your events. Now, in routine, those are not called teams, but called organizations, which you can see here. You can join multiple ones. So as you can see, this is the Acme team. Now, in an organization, you can invite people, and then you can basically distribute them through workspaces, which allows to manage access control. So you could have a workspace for product and engineering, another one for legal, or it could be even using those for projects, depending on how you want to structure your organization. Now, the beauty is that because routine allows to manage more than just tasks, you can, through the types, create other entities that you want to manipulate and manage in your organization. So what I've done here is that I've created a customer type, but also an epic page ticket. Page allows to basically manage your knowledge. So as you can see here, I've got my default workspace, and you can see the hierarchy of all of my pages. So this is my home, and I've created sub-pages by just using the slash, and then you can name the object that you want to create. So if you go here, you will see all of the objects in the workspace. So I could say I want to create a sub-page or an epic or a ticket. So if I create a sub-page, I could say that's the sales strategy or whatever, something like this. And then you can take more notes and create other objects or just visualize information, which we will see very soon. Now, what I've done also is I've created a visualization of all of my ticket, which is the same thing here as going to ticket and clicking the database. You can visualize all the objects from one type. But you can visualize this also by creating a view, which is something you could do here, or even better here. Let's say epic. I take this one, I've got notes, and I could say I want to create a visualization. I want to see all of my tickets, but then I want to filter to keep only the ones that relate to the epic, which is this one. New pricing page. You apply, and that's it. You have only the ones that are of interest. Then you can hide the epic because it's a bit redundant. Maybe you want to show the status, or you could even group by status so that you can see better what's happening. If I put this one in progress, you can see you have something a bit more visual to organize this epic. So the idea is that you can fairly easily organize other information to manage knowledge in your team, to manage your project, to manage your customers or your sales pipeline, really whatever you want. Also, in the ticket, what I've done is that you can see that there is an owner, and the owner is you assign this to someone in your team. Whenever you do that, the user in question will receive in their inbox this, which is someone assign you work. And that's great because you can then click to go to the ticket in question. You can also mention people with the @ which also lets you receive a notification in your inbox. All of those are great for collaborating, and it goes beyond just a task. You can assign anything to someone in your team. So in conclusion, for everything about team management, collaboration, it's fairly straightforward. Todoist is great, but really simple for task management, whereas routine allows to go beyond. You have the same simplicity, but then you can add, define other objects that you would like to manipulate as a team, being for managing knowledge, customers, sales pipeline, candidates that you want to hire, basically you name it. That's the extensibility that routine allows, which is not forced upon users. It's really for you to decide if you want to go there. Todoist has a number of other functionalities which are great for extending your productivity. On one side, it has labels, which we already covered, but also filters. Those ones for your teams, which allows you to look at your work from another angle. You can create other visualization, so basically filtered views to see only what you want. You can see you can write a query. It's really great if you want to look at your work, but in a different way, so that you can be more effective on a specific project, or just in general because you prefer to look at work this way rather than the traditional 2D screen maybe. The other thing for which Todoist has been well known is reporting. There is a lot of gamification around streaks, which helps people consistently achieve their goals. And the reporting tool allows you to visualize information in terms of what you have achieved, again, consistently. So really, I recommend you using it if you need help for achieving your goals. When it comes to extensibility, routine shines by its ability to manipulate various type of information, both as collection in a database, but also in your notes. So, if you happen to open, let's say, an event, you can take notes, and in those notes, we can create sub-objects. You could say, I want to create a new customer. And this allows you right there to say, I don't know, in the meeting, we are talking about a new customer. So I'm going to say customer X, and that's it. You don't have to navigate to another screen to see a plus button to create a new entity, as it is the case in many tools. In routine, you can create anything anywhere in your notes, or through the plus button, which would be the same thing, customer, or through the dashboard, which is the hotkey on desktop. Talking about this, when you open the customer, you can navigate to the collection, the database of all of your customers, as you can see here, which is the same, let's say, for candidates. You have your candidates, your database of candidates, which is great. Now, something else that is really amazing is the ability for your dashboard with your quick capture to work with all of your type of information. If you were to say, I want to hire Drew Houston, you could actually type Drew Houston and then use the as keyword to then specify which type of entity you would like to create. So let's say then candidate. If you do this and then you capture, that's it, you have a new entry. But even more, you can use the contextual capture, which you can see here. How? By basically enriching your type. So let me check, candidate is in my own organization. So if you were to take a type like candidate, what I've done is that I've added a context property. This allows for the type to work with the contextual capture from your dashboard, which allows to do this. I'm on my browser and I see someone that I would like maybe to hire or consider hiring, or maybe a new potential customer. I open the dashboard, it recognizes where I am. I say as candidate. I use the second one to capture the context, and that's it. I've actually created a new candidate, but even more, I've enriched it with the context so that I can click and navigate to it very quickly. So really this ability to define your data model, which is all of the entities that you want to manipulate for your own account or as a team, plus the ability to create those anywhere in your notes, plus the ability to manipulate those through the hotkey, makes really routine very extensible. You start simple, task, notes, calendars, and then you build upon those by extending those entities or linking them together. To summarize, Todoist is great around tasks and has added many functionalities to really enrich your experience to make sure that you achieve consistency around task management. Routine took another approach, which is more about aggregating more information into one tool, which is really its vision. Started with tasks, notes, calendars, and contacts, but then you realize that you can actually define other entities that you would like to manage as well, both for your personal life, but also within your teams. And that's really where it shines through this extensibility of use cases. In addition to the regular app, if I can say, Todoist also features a menu bar widget, which you can see at the top. If you click it, you will see that you can do a number of things like showing Todoist if it's not the app in the foreground. You can add tasks, you can even voice capture a task, and you can see that you have a summary of all of your tasks for today, which can be great if you want to access this from anywhere. It can be also not great because you don't want it to replace you today, but that's really the ability to use it if you want, that counts. In addition, because Todoist has been here for a very long time, it has a number of platforms and browser extensions in particular, which you can install on different browsers to very quickly access your tasks and capture add quickly from a website there, which is also a very nice addition. Routine doesn't have any browser extension yet for Google Chrome or Firefox, unlike Todoist. However, it does have a menu bar widget like Todoist, which features the task of the day and the events of the day in a slightly more compact and simpler format. But even more, it features timers. Timers for tasks or a general Pomodoro timer if you want to use this technique, which allows you to really focus on one thing for 25 minutes. If you were to launch a timer for a task, you can see it recording how much time you are spending on the task. And once you are done, you stop, and this is going to be recorded in your calendar, as you can see here, as spending just less than a minute. As you can see, if you open the task, you will see all the allocations, which are the time blocked in your calendar related to the task, which is again less than a minute. But this allows you to really record in your calendar the time that you have spent. So both Todoist and Routine do have a menu bar widget, which are slightly equivalent. Routine has timers. Todoist also has browser extensions. So it's really, really close in terms of the experience. When it comes to integrations, Todoist has a great library of services to which it can connect to. So if you go to settings and then integrations, you will see a lot of those installed, and then you can browse. So there are really, really a lot of those integrations that bring other information, which are messages or emails or just other things like habits or tasks from other tools directly for you to manipulate them as tasks in Todoist. So it really has been there for a long time. So the catalog is really, really extensive. While Todoist integrations really focus on bringing information for task management, so to manipulate those as tasks in Todoist, Routine has obviously a different approach because it allows to manipulate more than just tasks. So if you head to integrations, you will see that you have calendar integration, task integrations, contact integrations, and then database integration, which basically allows you to bring data from other services and then manipulate them the way you want as a database in Routine. So it doesn't have the number of integration that you would find in Todoist, because Todoist has been there for a longer time, but it does allow to integrate with your calendar, task, and contacts. So overall, there is no debate. Todoist has a lot more integrations than Routine because it's been there longer. The only problem, so to speak, is that it only integrates with tasks, but that's the purpose of Todoist, so you can't really, again, debate that point. Routine's approach is more general. It allows to connect bidirectionally with your calendar, task, and contacts, but has less of those services available. Recently, a few months ago, Todoist has introduced a new functionality based on AI called Ramble, which is all about using voice to capture information, tasks in particular, very quickly. So it looks something like this. You open Ramble either on desktop or mobile, and then you speak, and you can give it information to create tasks. Add clean house to my house project and add another task to call John tomorrow. Then you click add task, and both tasks have been created. One is in house, clean house. The other one is for tomorrow, which should be here, call John. So the idea has always been with Todoist to increase the chances of you to capture information quickly, which is why there is the quick capture, and now they have been adding voice as a channel to go even faster. Routine is equipped with a number of AI features. The first and most obvious one is the ability to take meeting notes. So if you open an event, you will see record meeting. You have the same thing in the calendar. By again selecting a meeting, you can see record meeting. This will listen to your meeting and generate a summary at the end. You can do the same anywhere in, let's say, the notes of an organization, in any basically notes. You can use the meeting notes command, and the meeting will be recorded, and the summary this time will be generated in the notes of this object. So it doesn't have to be in an event, which is great for sharing those notes with your team, because your team doesn't have access, obviously, to your calendar events. Then we have the assistant, which is a general AI for helping you achieve whatever you want. You can use voice, very much like Ramble on Todoist, or you can type. And you could do something like remind me to call my lawyers in 5 days. If you do something like this, very much like Todoist, so again, by voice or text, the AI will analyze what you are asking, and in this instance, will create and schedule a task for Tuesday being in 5 days, as you can see here. So really equivalent in that way, except that routine can do much more. For instance, you could ask the assistant to reschedule your whole day because it has access to your meetings, or even reschedule your day and notify people that you cannot attend. Because, as you can see here, you can actually specify which integrations to use. So let's give it a try now. I've got 2 meetings here, and I could say, I'm sick, reschedule the meetings I have this afternoon and notify the participants I cannot attend in Gmail. You do this, it will scan through your calendar, detect that there are 2 or 3 meetings in the afternoon, cancel those meetings, and send an email to the participants to let them know that you cannot attend. This is obviously more powerful than Todoist because it's not just related to tasks. So in that instance, it found the 2 meetings, but to reschedule them, it needs to know when, I guess. Has no attendees listed. There's no one like me to do it. Yes. You can see that, again, more powerful because it is more interactive than just a tool for capturing tasks. At 30. Anyway, then I can leave it there. It's going to continue working, and we can move on to the next thing. The next thing is what's called agents. Agents are present in every organization you own, but also every team organization. An agent is basically a specialized AI model. So in other words, those ones are specialized for specific tasks, being for sales or executive assistant or maybe social media. But it really looks like the general assistant, which is just a chat, the history of the chats, but also automations, which is more interesting. You can pin it to the menu so that it's always accessible, as you can see here, and you can start chatting with that person, that AI, to basically ask it to perform specific things related to their area of expertise. Now, for each agent, you can customize and add user preferences. You can also link to some documents to maybe give them a bit more information about what your company does or what they should do or how to behave in some situations. You could also do that directly in the prompt by saying, do this by taking into account or strategy, like basically a document. And again, you can tell it like use and an integration. So I haven't configured any integration in the Acme organization, but if you were, you would be able to say use Slack or use Apollo or Gmail or whatever you want. And the automations allow you to react to a specific thing. So either to run the automations manually when you want to, or on a regular basis. Could be every Monday, prepare my meetings, or every Tuesday, or every day, try to find new customers and update the CRM. Or it could be whenever something changes in a database. So it could be whenever there is a new meeting, check that it doesn't conflict or something like this. So those automations really give another level of automation and delegation when it comes to managing your life and your work. So Todoist has had this functionality of AI capturing by voice for some time now. It works absolutely fantastic, but it's really related to just capturing tasks, which again might feel limiting or not if you really enjoy just having a tool for your tasks. Routine, however, has a bit more of a horizontal take on productivity, allowing to capture tasks, but also book meetings or even reschedule things or even take notes or whatever really your system is managing, customers, habits, movies, candidates, whatever it is. So it really has a lot more depth in terms of what it can do, both through the assistant, the meeting notes, but also agents and their automations. When it comes to the look and feel of the app that you're going to use, it's really difficult because it's really a personal preference. Todoist has been there for a long time. It is very clean, as you can see. It's been designed to be very lightweight so that it doesn't really kind of take too much space with too many colors or too many things appearing. Routine has the equivalent, except that, again, it features your calendars and more things, but it has the same approach of kind of staying in the back, so that it's more here to help you more than look at me. So really, both tools have had the same general approach to design, which is, again, to stay in the backward so that you can focus on getting things done. In terms of platforms, Todoist is more present. It's been there for a very long time, so you can see that not only is it present on desktop, macOS, Windows, and Linux, also on the different mobile devices, but also watches and browser extensions. So it's been really kind of expanding to as many places where you can use Todoist to capture information. Routine, however, being a younger product, is available on macOS, Windows, Linux, also on the web and on iOS and Android, but it doesn't have browser extensions yet, nor is it present on tablets or watches, even though that will come obviously fairly soon. So as a summary, both tools are great for task management. They have been really built on the same principle, which is capturing quickly and then managing your tasks. Todoist is a bit more opinionated around project and labels and the way the app is organized, whereas Routine is a bit more modern with a note editor, calendars integration as well. In terms of plugins, integrations, and platforms, Todoist has been there for a very long time, so it is present everywhere. However, Routine is more extensible, better for collaboration, and in general, if you want to kind of give it more depth in terms of AI and more use cases, Routine is the way to go. I hope you liked this video. We tried to really dig as deep as possible into every tool and show what were the strengths and maybe weaknesses of each. But again, in the end, it's really up to you depending on what you want the tool to do in your life. Don't hesitate to leave a comment and hope you like it.